First question comes from Sarah. What energy should I focus on this month? The father. Now that is interesting. Given that I know something about your situation, I'm going to have to try and not just interpret things through that. But it's just, given that you have just become a mother and a father, and the focus is saying what energy should I focus on this month is the father. There's probably just something saying in that is that it could be very easy being in the situation that you are in to not neglect, but just kind of, the focus is totally going to be on the baby, and that maybe not the total focus should be on the father, but that just keep an eye on him, see what's going on there, and make sure that you're touching base, and just think about the fathers in general, and maybe have a kind of a thought about, I was going to say, coming from their point of view. I don't know. There's something that I think that I could probably over-explain over it. It's that just, your question is, what energy should I focus on this month? It'd be focused on the father. Clearly not to the detriment of everything else, though. So, yeah, interesting. George, what energy should I focus on this month? 2. George, stealing questions. The chest. So, discipline. Devoting yourself to something, like going for something, have a devotional type approach to something. Be that meditation, healthy eating, exercise, a work project, something, some sort of devotion, having the discipline to go and focus on a target, rather than just kind of, overindulging, doing everything, not doing anything, all of that. Have a disciplined, targeted, devotional approach to some sort of goal or person or idea, and that's the energy is of this month for you. His Vinceness. How can I be of service to others this month? The Lovers. The Lovers. So it's about being easy in a relationship, it's something being past the fireworks, but in the situation of where it's, there's a comfortableness, there's an ease, there's, you're happy to be around each other. There's nothing forced. It's like the Tao, I suppose. It's the water going down the stream. It's following the stream. It's not fighting against the stream. So it's just kind of, I suppose, this is just be that. Be the be the thing, I suppose, that or be. Make sure that is the energy that is around, that it's uncomplicated, not, no one's making any challenges that are unneeded. It's not the time to bring up, stuff from the past or arguments. It's to make it have ease, where it's like, everything is okay, and everything is the best it can be, without obviously losing yourself, but just be aware of your relationship, and I suppose enjoy that and be okay with that, and the ease is the word that keeps coming over and over to me. Grayson, what do I need to be aware of this month? Oh, the healing, Grayson. I may be wrong, but I think that came up for you before. If I am wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, so have a look at ways of healing, what you can do to heal, to look after yourself, be that emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, any of those things. So what do you need to be aware of? That something needs to be healed, or that you have to look at healing in some way, or recuperation, or relaxing, or being, rather than, going full strength into all of these things, of headlong into things. Have a focus on some healing and see what you can do now. Sally. How to best manage family relationships for positivity? Now there's the question. Lovers, hearing again. Yeah, so in this, it's to not try and solve it, I suppose, in a sense, or not try to manage it, to let it be what it is, to allow it to be the thing that it is, to have an ease with it. Again, this is the word. Seems the lover seems to be the like it's. Think of the classic thing example of the lovers is that it's after the kind of initial fireworks lust, and when you've in one sense you stop pretending to be the greatest version of yourself, and you've shown some of your flaws and stuff like that. So I suppose it's kind of saying the best way to manage family relationships is to be okay with everyone's flaws and see that's what it is. This is how it is, rather than trying to fix it constantly or wishing it was something else. Just have an ease with this is what family is, and manage it from that point of view, rather than saying, well, I wish my family wasn't like this, or it didn't work out like this, or things like that. Just go, well, this is it. Now what? This is how it actually is. It's probably not going to change dramatically. Some people aren't going to change at all. So wanting it to be fixed is not necessarily ever going to happen or be the solution. So just accept it as it is, and now what? Now what can I do about it? Knowing that my family's like this, knowing that these people are going to do this kind of stuff, knowing that they're going to say this, knowing that I'm going to have this attitude toward this person, etc. Now what? Rather than trying to wish that those things weren't the case. Look at it as it is, what the actual nature of the relationship is, and work from there. Jacob, where should I focus to reduce my stress and anxiety? The adventurer. Getting out. Nothing worse than someone when you're saying I'm stressed and anxious, as in someone goes, have you tried exercising? Have you tried going out for a walk? But there's kind of sense of just getting out of yourself. But in a physical way. The adventurer is a physical card. It's not the contemplator. It's not the explorer, which are, more maybe excuse me, things. This is out doing something out there. Where should I focus to reduce my stress? I'm doing something out in the world. If you're spending all your time at home, go out. Even if that means just going to a friend's house. If you're just reading all the time at home, go read in a coffee shop or something. But this kind of a notion of just getting out, physically outside or out of where you are, and pushing your boundaries a wee bit more in that, so that you're not just falling into the same kind of rut or routine or stuff like that, which can be somewhat comforting, but it's self-perpetuating. So simple steps, like if you play games at home all the time, I don't know what you do, then go play the same game in your friends. But there's something that's moving you out physically from what you're doing currently, whatever it is. Good luck with that. Daniel, what is a potential influence that I'm not aware of that may impact me this month? The media. Well, that's kind of self-evident, I suppose, that they don't. the media, the news, stories people tell you, is surely would have an impact on you, but unaware. So why would it be you'd be unaware of it? That even that if you're avoiding it, it still can have an impact on you. It still trickles through to other people. So you don't listen to the news, watch the news, read newspapers. You're still going to pick up things in conversations. You're still going to pick up things in the background and stuff like that. I know sometimes when I completely take myself out of any kind of news reading at all, I still seem to have a very vague, if not sometimes not vague at all, understanding of what's going on in the world. And I don't know how I know it. It's very strange, but it's something to look at, that even if you avoid all news sites, all news, don't talk about anything, you still kind of get an impression of what's going on. So that's what I'm saying with the potential influence that you might not be aware of is still the media, the news, the stories, even if you're avoiding it, can still have a massive impact on you this month. Holly. Best way to find time for my personal interests, such as tarot reading, colouring, occult studies, piano practice. Okay. Best way to find time. Contemplating. This is kind of opposite of the advice I would personally give, I suppose. So that's interesting. So I'm just going to read exactly what the card is saying. It's just don't plan it. Don't try to do it. Don't try to fit it in. It's just allow it to happen naturally. And I suppose maybe the call is that you're putting too much pressure on yourself to do it, that it becomes a bit like, oh, I have to do my homework. I have to do my homework. I don't want to do this. I love reading tarot, but it feels like homework now. So I'm not going to do it. And it's kind of stress. So it's just kind of go, let it naturally happen. Just put it to one side, the need for this problem to be solved, and just notice if you start gravitating towards doing it. Because maybe there's an issue that if you're putting too much pressure on yourself to, oh, I need to spend this amount of time, I need to be doing this, I should be doing this, then that it, as I say, it becomes like work, it becomes like a chore rather than something that you would want to do. So that's what I would suggest there. That's interesting. That's a good one, because I probably, had you just asked me, I probably would have said something about timetabling and making sure you do it. So that's a better answer though, I feel. Taos. No divination for me this month. Oh, feel electrified after this Halloween. Let's let things settle. By the way, thanks, Tom. Oh, fair enough. Have a media. What does that mean to you? Okay. Should I keep my market going? This is from Ginger. This is kind of a yes or no, Ginger. So if it's a positive card, it's going to be yes. If it's a negative card, it's going to be no. And there's slightly no room for context. So we'll see how it goes. Should Ginger keep the market going? Interesting. It's saying don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Allow whatever's going to happen to happen. That the idea with the contemplator is that, say you can't remember an actor's name, and rather than forcing it in, you just go, right, put it to the back of my mind and let that be solved by something, the other part of my brain or my subconscious or whatever. And then an hour later you go, Jimmy Choo, whatever the actor's name is. So there's something in that. It's not saying don't worry about it, just forget about it, doesn't matter, be complacent about it. It's just saying, okay, trying to work it out, trying to think about it, trying to have a plan, all of that's not necessarily working for you. So just kind of go, right, hand it over to my subconscious, to my higher self, to whatever, and allow the answer to come rather than trying to, manifest an answer. Just allow it to be for a while and see what comes to you. Should you keep your market going? To be decided, but not by you. So good luck with that. Shiva. What can I do this month to give my husband what he needs? Okay. Okay, the seer. What's your gut telling you? What's the gut feeling about the situation? Not what it looks like on paper, not what other people are telling you, not what it would appear to be by all appearances. What does it feel like? What's underlying kind of vibe of it? Does it feel, is there something there? Is there something that's, oh, I'm getting a bad feeling about this? Or, oh, something seems quite positive about us, even in the face of all uncertainty. That this feels like a good thing, even though everything's falling around. Or this feels like a bad thing, even though everything's falling into place. Or whatever it is. What is your gut feeling about it? What can I do this month to give him what he needs? Follow your gut. Follow your instincts. Follow your not necessarily, I suppose, do what someone is telling you they want. Do what you feel they want. That's a difficult thing to navigate, of course, because you don't want You could go, well, I asked you to do this and you went and did something else. So you're going to have to feel your way through that a bit and just kind of have a gut sense of you'll know what to do. Good luck with that. Indy, where should I put my energy and focus to improve my life this month? Energy and focus. See, I knew that was going to be the card, but I also knew that is the card. It's the same. It's in gut feeling. There'll be a sense of what you already know what the answer to this is. What is the answer to this question? To you now, what were you hoping for? What card would have felt right? What was the answer that would feel right? And that's the thing that you should focus on. What is it you're looking for? The feeling, the underlying current that you can kind of sense that's there. It's like tossing a coin in the air to make a decision. And while the coin's in the air, kind of notice what way you want the decision to come out. And then don't worry what way the decision came out of the coin. Just go with what you wanted. What the decision is. So where should I put my energy and focus to improve my life this month? In developing your intuition and having a feel about what, that kind of stuff. Intuition, feeling, gut feelings, all of that kind of stuff. Catherine, what can I do to get caught up? Terrible shuffle. Let's go again. What can Catherine do to get caught up? Speak your truth, speak your mind, protest, stand up for yourself, stand up for what you believe in. Don't just let things go. So what can I do to get caught up? I suppose don't get bogged down in other people's stuff. Don't get say, well, I have my own stuff to do. This is what I have to prioritize, my stuff to get caught up, or what I have to do, rather than getting lost in all of these other things and kind of wants and needs of other people, or kind of other people's responsibilities, or feelings that there's some sort of entitlement, or that you have to do something for them or whatever, that kind of stuff. Just go, no, stand up for yourself and go, I'm doing this. I'm making this time to catch up, and I'm doing it. Speaking your truth, speaking it, protesting it, fighting it. Being, it's that Martian energy, in the sense of the god Mars, rather than the aliens. Aries energy. See it as being in a sense, like being a soldier, whatever, and attack it. Be forceful. Alex, what is the most important thing for me to concentrate on this month? As I drop loads of cards. The Tinker. To be rational about things, to not get caught up, I suppose, too much in the woo, or fanciful ideas or stuff like that. It's like, what is actually happening here? What is the rational thing? What if I think this true? What does it actually mean? If I wrote this down on paper and made a bullet point list, if I was one way that I suppose to think of it, one way to think of it is that if you're trying to explain it to someone else rationally, who was getting very flighty with something, how would you explain something? How would you approach it? If you believe magic was rubbish, and you were a total skeptic, what would your approach be to whatever the problem is, or the month, whatever it is? Just be. If the problems present themselves, you could probably think your way out of it, rather than feeling you need some sort of woo, or to, again, to that I have to in some way put up with this. That this is the way it's meant to be, or this is life presenting itself. Go, well, think about that. Challenge your ideas, challenge other people's ideas, challenge the situation rationally. Is this what's actually happening? That kind of stuff. Okay, Kelly. What should I study focus this month to grow in my magic? I think it's discard. The dancer. Well, I mean, there is strictly you could work on dancing. There is a magical act of dancing. Sufis have that the the dervish, the ecstatic dancing. Gurdjieff had some stuff in that as well about dancing. So there might be something to look into that, into like the Sufi stuff, the the whirling dervishes, the kind of dance as ecstasy as a way to know God, or to recognize the divine. All of that. It's another route through it. Another way to approach a dance would be to kind of surrender, acceptance, which is a huge part of a lot of spiritual practices. Just to be okay with how life is, not how creation is. Surrender to the truth, to the reality, to the divine, or whatever. That can be helpful at some times. It can be extremely unhelpful at other times. But if it's appearing from you here, that might be something you need to do, just to work on surrender, to whatever that is for you towards the divine, or actually do some dancing. Ian, I have a lot of traveling ahead of me the next couple of months. Does it seem to go smoothly, or should I expect lots of inconveniences? Okay, so the question I will ask is, what should Ian know about his upcoming traveling? That you need to look after yourself physically. That there, yeah. Uh, so also, while obviously the carnal is about sex, lust, all that, there is this physicality to it. So look after your physical body. Look after are you getting your needs, and even watch out for, practice safe sex if that's the case. But I think it's about the physical, looking after yourself physically, your wants, your needs, physical, and that can be the thing that could trip you up or help go smoothly. So yeah, make sure you're eating correctly. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're having enough entertainment. All of those things. But yeah, and if that there is some sort of something to do with desire as well. That don't let yourself go, I suppose, or just look after yourself. Look after yourself physically. To always try to keep up your looking after, like, whatever, cutting your hair, shaving, washing, showers, moisturizing, all of this stuff. Look after all of that stuff. Christoph, what is on my romantic horizon? The Tinker. Something that will stimulate your intellect. So I would suggest in this case, I suppose you would think that what's on your mind, someone who stimulates you intellectually. I suppose what the implication that's either you might necessarily find them massively physically attractive at all, or it mightn't matter. It doesn't matter. That the thing to focus on is, this person's really interesting. That I get on well with this person. I'm stimulated. It's making me think. All of that kind of stuff. That maybe that's a focus to go on rather than just looks, say, or I don't know, finances or fancy clothes, whatever. That is the intellect, the stimulation. That's not to say you can't find a gorgeous, stimulating person who has fancy clothes and a fancy car, but that's the focus should be on the interaction with who you get on with, rather than the material things or the physical things. DT, what can I do to increase my feelings of self-respect? See ya. On some level, you know that you're good, and that's the focus on. There's a background hum of everything is okay, that you're okay, you're not broken, that you're not, that you're worthy of respect, that you're good, and that to focus on that, to find that, in that sense, that feeling, that knowing, that inner awareness, that voice that's probably been drowned out an awful lot by other people's chastisements or giving out or insults, criticisms and stuff like that. But you know fundamentally that you're good and worthy, and focus on that, because it will be there. It might be buried, but it's definitely there. Daniel, insight into dealing with my nephew's drug addiction. That sucks. There you go. Well, he jumped out. The desperate. Recognizing, I suppose, then the situation that the person is in, and understand that they're going through pain, suffering, and all that, rather than, I suppose, blaming them or thinking they shouldn't be doing it, or that they should have more sense, whatever. But that it's a sense of there is a desperation. It's a low point. It's something that's terrible. It's not something that necessarily, I don't know the situation, but people often say them taking drugs for fun, for or enjoyment or whatever. But it's that it could be seen that it's as a way to deal with depression, desperation, sadness, overwhelming, to deal with life and stuff like that, and that it's like a self-medicating type thing, and to focus on it that way rather than on blame. You should know better. Why are you doing this stupid thing, for want of a better word, or something like that some people could have around drug addiction, to not see it as, not necessarily not to take away any fault or anything, or any kind of self reliance or self kind of a word my brain doesn't want to come up with, like that it's like he has to take some self-responsibility, whatever. But seeing that it's coming from a place of pain, I think might help. And the desperate jumped out very much, wanted to be known for that. So Abraxas, I said, hey, what's going on? What's going on for Abraxas? The eye. Everything is as it should be, man. Things are working out. Things are unfolding. This is how it is. This is how it's meant to be. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to try and fix. There's nothing to try and improve. Which is easier to say if things feel like they're going well for you, but if they feel like everything's falling around or you're in a rut, it can be less easy to believe that. But particularly if you feel like you're in a rut, often the times when it feels like nothing is happening, you look back and loads of things are happening. Sometimes you can look back and go, I really didn't do anything. I was in a rut. But this would suggest that you're not necessarily in a rush, or that things aren't, maybe your world around you isn't reflective of great understanding or enlightenment or pursuit or moving forward ever. But this is saying that no, things are as they should be, and it's okay. Everything is good. Wise Owl, what can I focus on to dispel my doubts? The Master. What would someone who didn't have any doubts do? How would they approach your life? How would they live your life? What would it be? If the things you were doubting no longer were doubts, what would your life be? If you believed 100% that you could do magic, magic was real, awakening was possible, all of the things I've been told are true or whatever, what would you do? How would you approach from that? What would fall away? What would be unhelpful? What would be more empowering? Coming from the point of view of the Master, the person who, knows it. All of these things. Focus from that point of view rather than from, let's say, your life point of view, or trying to prove it to yourself, or any of these things. So whatever it is that you're doubting, dispel your doubts by seeing it from a point of view of someone who doesn't have doubts. So it's a very chaos magic approach, but it can be quite helpful. So yeah, focus on the Master energy. Even work with the Master for a while. Hang out with him, go talk to him. How I talk to, or how I work with the 40 servants, is stick the image on my altar, light a candle every day for whatever I'm doing, and just speak out loud to the Master or whoever it is like they're in the room with me, explaining what's going on. And it's like, I'm full of doubts. I really don't understand how some people are able to get great headway into magic and some people don't. And the people who seem to be really, really knowledgeable turn out to be not really knowledgeable. And the people who don't seem to have any knowledge seem to know more. And I can never know whatever it is, and just continue explaining whatever is your doubts thing and go, and at the end go, and can you help me with this? Can you give me some clarity, or, whatever it is. So you could try that. J. Eric, I don't even know what to ask for this month. What do the servants have to tell me about November? It's the 11th month of the year. It's 31 days, does it? 30 days, I don't know, 30 days. Oh, here we go. Here's your card. The mother. Apart from the obvious, mother energy. Think about your mother. Just think about it like, so the mother is the embodiment of the earth element. So you're thinking about your house, your food, your welfare, your shelter, food, money. It depends. Money can be somewhat mercurial, but you're kind of money, I suppose, in the sense of fast flowing, coming in, coming out. It's not really, it's wealth in the sense it's kind of like it's kind of more like your assets rather than your money, right? So you could be very wealthy, but you can't afford to buy lunch, whatever. You have a lot of houses, but you have no actual wealth or no actual money. So it's wealth in the sense of assets, and your that kind of stuff. So have a look at that. My brain is definitely getting a bit sludgy after all of these, but let me see if I can just slow down for a second and get a good answer. Look after the earth element stuff. Look after your shelter, your food, your properties, your wealth. You look after yourself physically, your body, your family, and also consider actually your mother in all of these things, because that's never to be left out. Okay, Chris, how can I have fun while managing my duties and responsibilities this month? Okay, the road opener. By seeing any opportunities that are in it for fun. So it's to focus on, always be looking. Kind of look at it's like going, oh, this is a kind of humdrum. There's a great story about Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins, you can take or leave. I certainly can take or leave him depending on my mood. And he's talking about this kind of thing where he's coming home, he's been on a business trip or whatever, and he has 400 calls to make, business calls that he doesn't, but he's tired and he doesn't want to do it. And so he says, well, how can I make this fun? How can I make it so it's not completely the worst thing in the world? And so he gets into the jacuzzi, he gets a drink, he has some food, and he starts ringing people on the back in the day in the 80s on the huge mobile phone, and making a fun thing out of a show. And so I think the road opener is saying stuff like that. It's like, how can I make this non-fun thing a bit more fun? Can I do the spreadsheet from a jacuzzi? Do I have to be in the office? Do I can I do it while having lovely music on in the background? Can I do it from the top of a mountain? Can I do it from a forest? Whatever it is. Look for ways in which to find the fun. You'll have to make it, because you're not going to find it in the spreadsheet. But how can I do this spreadsheet? How can I have this interaction in a fun way? Ingrid, will I be moving into my flat before my birthday? While this is a yes or no question, I kind of like it because it's very time specific, rather than using dates. I was doing Gordon White's divination course, and he would be very approving of this, the way this is worded. In that it says that fortune telling seems to work better when you use events rather than dates. So before my birthday is better than before December 12th. As if they don't know what December 12th is, but they know what your birthday is. So, well, be moving into my flat before my birthday? If you buckle down, put the work in, get focused, be disciplined, and to the exclusion of all else, focus on this. Yes. Coco, will I be feeling more in time with the occult this month? Will I be feeling more in tune? Is that an autocorrect there? Will I be feeling more in time with the occult? I'm just going to ask the question, see what the answer is. Oh, hold on. Some cards popping out. Two of them. If you speak your truth. No, the protester is shouting at the thinker. If you will be more in time or in tune with the occult if you shout at the thinker and start, push away the rational, the doubts, that's not really how it works. That's not life. The skeptic. You have to get angry with the skeptic. You have to protest the skeptic. You have to speak your truth, get angry, shout at, and that's how you will get more in tune, I am assuming, with the occult. BE, what would most help me improve my life in November? Magic, the witch, doing actual magic, doing things. Find what does he want? What's your targets? What's your desires? What is it you want? And then do magic towards it. And the secret with an awful lot of magic is that pick a target, pick a goal, work from it, attack it in the most mundane way possible. How would I do this if magic doesn't exist? And then do all of that, and then enchant it also with magic, so that the possibilities or the probabilities are more likely to come together, the chance occurrences, the kind of stuff. But I definitely feel you have to be moving in the direction of your goal too. So what would help me improve my life in November? Enchanting it, doing magic about it, but also, this is more my advice that I suppose than what the card is saying, is also move in the direction towards what you want in a mundane sense as well. But yeah, there's definitely magic, weirdness, the witch, being a witch. Be the witch for November. Yeah, the witch is not just for Halloween, it's also for November. Shane, how do I stop letting imposter syndrome rule me? Okay. The master. So imposter syndrome, of course, is when you think that you're not good enough, or that everyone else is better than you, and in some way you're faking it, or that you're not being disingenuous, or you're being dishonest in some way. Who are you to do this? And of course, I mean, the answer to that is being the master. Well, I am the person to see yourself as an expert, present yourself as an expert, understand that the best person you understand the falseness in imposter syndrome. And apart from just the fact that everyone on some level, apart from the egomaniacs, feel imposter syndrome, I don't know anyone who feels a legitimate, particularly if you're working in any sort of creative arts or anything like that, there's always going to be some element of imposter syndrome, or even if there's a lack of, I suppose, public success and things. Like, it's very easy to have imposter syndrome as a painter, say, if you've never sold a painting. I suppose there's some legitimacy in if you've sold 1,000 paintings, and at least you can go, well, I'm a painter, sold 1,000 paintings. But even then, people have imposter syndrome about, am I just some sort of commercial thing or something? Am I actually true to myself? There's all an endless kind of realm of that. But just come from a position of, okay, I feel this, but I also am going to act as if I'm the master, as if I'm the thing, and act as the master rather than the imposter. Would be the advice there. Okay, I'm just going to make sure there is no runs. That seems to be everyone. I do feel, however, that I did read a couple of other questions as they come in from my emails. Maybe they got deleted. Sometimes people do that. I understand that they ask a question, go, oh, no, that's not what I want at all. But if it is a case that I didn't answer your question and it's not on Patreon, just send me a message and I will pull some cards for you. Yeah, so good people of the internet, if this is something that you enjoyed, and well done to you for getting to the end. If you would like your own cards read, then we do it at the first of every month over on Patreon. Different levels get different amount of cards. And yeah, so good people of the internet, until next time, may your best days be ahead and be well.